Shalom to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank you again for this day. We want to thank God for allowing us to have this day again. It is a pleasure to meet on this platform and share and speak to each other and continue pondering on very important things concerning children, the rights of the children, and the vulnerable, the marginalized, and those minorities. Thank you so much again. This is Jackson, and I'm so happy to appear here and share with you my heart as concerns the children. I want you to continue liking our channel and please subscribe and share so that we can continue, sharing such important messages with each other. But again, I want to continue encouraging you that if you have any idea that you really want us to address the subject of children and their rights and what the Bible has to say about such, feel free to actually share your ideas down in the comment section and we'll move on together. Thank you so much. Looking at children, I was looking at the reality of children in our communities in Africa. Remember, our focus is on children and the East African concept of the rights of children. Growing up from a very small village in one of the countrysides of Uganda, I got to see many things that actually at that time I thought they were very true and right. But then as I got to begin to understand, I noticed that most of those things that were done were not actually very right. Among those was the positioning of children in society. For example, when I was growing up, children were the least thing that was thought about. I mean, as far as care is concerned. I know some of you may agree with me, but in most of our societies, and if you shared the same experience with me, that for example, the mother goes and prepares food, puts food on the table, and then what happens is the father is given the first priority. He takes the first, is given everything, and the children wait, and they are told, control yourself, control your appetite, sit down, wait, we are coming to you. And the big man is served. After the big man is served, then the children are now looked into. And guess what they feed on? For example, if they slaughtered chicken, you notice that children would feed on wings, would feed on those parts, and the real flesh would go to the big man. Now, as I started growing up, I started asking myself, wait a second. Why do we go to work? We go to work so that we can feed our children, so that our children will live a better life and so on. But in this time, I then came to notice that actually men were working for themselves and not for their children. And in our culture, we had a saying that for me, I'm eating because my time is fading away. These children still have enough time. They can work for themselves. They can earn everything they need to earn and then sustain themselves. Now, this clip is going to be very short, but I'm putting up a thought. Well, the positive side of it was they were teaching children to learn to be patient. That is one thing. But then on the other side of the coin, they forgot that they were actually building something into the children, that we are showing children that children are not entitled to better things. They are just entitled to what is left, and so on. And I grew up with that thing in me, seeing such happening. And we came to a time that sometimes you think that some things are too good for you. They're too good for you. Like, you go to a place and you feel, oh no, that is too good for me. That is too good for me to share. I mean, I don't mean my parents really did that. but I saw it on the neighborhoods and so on. Our parents were quite enlightened. Dad went to school and so on, so he was an enlightened man. He traveled overseas, and he was a different, caliber. But that we're staying in a community that had so many of our friends who were going through such, things. Now, let us look at this. When we begin defining children's rights, I was looking at a baby. A baby is born day one, as they just land. They start crying, and as they're crying, they want to feed. They want to breastfeed. And then you go back to that thing that makes children cry. Why do children cry? In other words, what they are telling their parents that, what, I've started demanding for my rights. I have the right to eat. Even on day one, they could tell you, I have the right to eat. And if you never give them what they need, they would cry unstoppable, even to the point of falling sick. Because to them, it is supposed to be provided for, it's supposed to be given. And the parents have the mandate of doing that. And some babies that have been unfortunate, that have been born, and their mothers couldn't make it, they pass on. The father will take responsibility of sorting out that problem. Go find milk, or organize for a meal, because from day one, a baby is born. Baby is supposed to be feeding, either a parent likes it or not, whether the mother is alive or the mother is dead. Even when the baby has no father, in an instance where the father is not known, or maybe the father for some reasons passed away before the baby was born, and then so the mother has passed on, still there could be someone responsible, a caretaker who could step in and attend to that right. Now, as we come to that reality, human rights we are born with them. For example, the right to claim for food. No one ever lives and is silent about that matter. Even for us who are mature, when you get hungry, you walk down to the grocery store, you buy food, you go to the restaurant, or if you can't do that, you go to the shamba and then get food and so on. Why do we wake up very early in the morning to go work? Why do we wake up very early in the morning to go dig our gardens? Because there is nature that is calling. In a few minutes, nature will call and will demand that I need food, I need to eat, I need to be fed. The body will always demand that. And that starts from day one, demanding for what to eat. So that is one of the issues that we need to look at. Now, going back to the children that are going without food, because they are disadvantaged for some reasons. Some of them end up on the streets, they end up loitering, asking for what to eat because they have nothing to eat. And then so the right to provide for one another should be, especially when we are looking at children and those that do not have what to eat, should be on the forefront of everything we may think about. Today I want to just understand that. First of all, the basic food. We have not even talked about diet. We have not talked about feeding well, because at the end we will even bring in issues of nutrition. Why children get malnourished and so on, and then at the end they have stunted growth. Even the Bible encourages us to be able to care for our children, feed them, make sure they have what to eat. So, my dear friends, as we talk about the subject of human rights, the right to eating has no debate. A child from day one will demand for their right, and they will demand for food, and they want to eat. So what do? We come in, we take responsibility, and we feed them. Thank you so much. When we see a child crying, what do we understand? That they are demanding for their natural rights. Thank you so much. This is Jackson. Please subscribe, share this, and let us push on this together. And if you have anything to comment on this as well, down at the at the comment section. Feel free to comment. If there is something that you want to add on, to correct, and so on, feel free. Thank you so much. May God bless you. This is Jackson. Shalom. Shalom.